Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. My name is Temitayo. In today's tutorial, I'll be showing you how I made this simple and classic crop top. So if this is your first time of coming across my channel, you're welcome. And as a returning subscriber, thank you for coming back. I do not take this love for granted. So let's get to class. So this crop top requires about 1.5 years of fabric of choice, and you can make this under 30 minutes even as a beginner. So the measurements we are going to be needing are the bust point, the crop top length, sleeve length and chest line, as you can see on the screen. The first thing is to calculate the amount of the fabric we need. Now, as you can see, there is a joining around the bust point area. I want to join it exactly on the bust point. So from my shoulder to bust point is 9 inches, and I'll need half inch to join to the flare part and also half inch to join the shoulders. So which makes it 10 inches altogether. So I'll measure 10 inches out like so. Now to determine the width of the fabric to fold, you need quarter of your bust measurement width, ease and sewing allowance. The quarter of the bust measurement that I'm working with is 8.5 inches, but I need 0.25 ease allowance because I don't want it tight, which makes it 8.75. And I'll also add 2 inches sewing allowance, altogether makes it 10.75. So I'll just mark that out and roll into a straight line. So this is what I'll be using for the upper part. I'll just cut it out now. To get the back part, I'll place the front panel on another folded fabric like so. I'll make sure to leave out my zipper allowance before I place the front on it. I want my zipper allowance to be 2 inches, so I'll measure it out and cut it out like so. So this is all we need for the upper part. I have my front and back on fold. As you can see, 4 pieces and the front is on fold. As you can see, I'll be drafting them together. I'll roll out the half inch for the shoulder joining and half inch joining allowance to the flare part. And all I have left is shoulder to nipple point, that is the bust point measurement, which is 9 inches. Guys, don't forget this is a zipper allowance for the back and this is the folded part for the front. So I'll fold in the zipper allowance like so. Then I'll get the front neckline. I'll be using 3 inches by 3 inches for the neck depth and width for the front. Then I'll mark my back measurement. The back I'm working with is 15 inches. So 15 inches divided by 2 gives me 7.5, plus half inch allowance that I'll use to join to the sleeve gives me 8 inches. So on these 8 inches, I'll come down by 1 inch for my shoulder slope and connect to the width like so. To get the chest line, it's bust divided by 6 plus 1.5, and I have mine to be 7 inches. So from the shoulder slope, I'll mark my 7 inches. I'll mark same 8 inches that I have here on the chest line to make a straight line. And I'll get the half of that, which is 3.5 inches. On that 3.5, I'll come in by half of an inch and I'll connect like so. The quarter of my bust is 8.5 and I'll add 0.25 ease allowance because I don't want it tight, and also 2 inches sewing allowance. And I'll connect like so. And the back is just going to be like this. Same thing that I have on my chest line will be transferred here, which is 10.75. And I'll cut out the back first, then separate it from the front. Don't forget to add half inch joining allowance on the shoulder part. As for the back neck depth, I want it to be 1 inch. So I'll mark and connect like so and cut out. I'll separate the front from it. As you can see, we have 2 pieces for the back pattern, and that is the zipper allowance. Can you see? And I'll put it aside now and cut the front armhole, and I'll also cut the neck depth. So now what I'm just going to be doing is, this is the back and this is the right side of the back. I'm just trying to put the zipper allowance together so I can place the front on it and join the shoulder first. So as you can see, I just placed the front panel on it, and I'm going to join the shoulders with 0.5 inch that I left. Then I'll also turn the neckline with my bias tape around. I could not find a matching bias tape color, so I cut out a long stripe from the fabric which is 1.5 inches in width, and I used to turn the neckline. So guys, what I'm just going to do now is I'm going to measure around the armhole. So to do that, I'm just going to open it and measure from one end to the other, as you can see. So now, after measuring, I have about 20 inches. I'll note down the 20 inches that I got because I'll be using it when I'm cutting my sleeve pattern. I want my 3/4 sleeve length to be 17 inches plus half inch to join to the main bodice and 1 inch to hem the sleeve. Altogether, I'll make it 18.5 inches. So I'll be marking my 18.5 inches like so, and I'll make my cap's height to be 4 inches. My 3/4 round sleeve is 10 inches, and so unfold will be 5 inches. Remember, this sleeve pattern is unfold. So remember the 20 inches that we got earlier when we measured the armhole. I'll measure it round here. I'll measure it round here, and unfold means it's 10 inches that I'll get, so I'll remeasure to get the 10 inches accurately. I have a detailed tutorial on sleeve drafting and cutting, so I'll be dropping the link in the description box below. Kindly watch to understand more on the sleeve cutting. So I'll connect with my French curve like so. I'm sorry guys, I forgot to add the sewing allowance here, so I'll just add it and reconnect, and I'll also cut out. So I'll be cutting 2 of this sleeve pattern. So I'm just going to use this one to cut the second sleeve. So the next thing I'm going to do now is to open up the sleeve patterns and determine where I want to be the front part and where I want to be the back part of the sleeve. So I'm just going to reshaping the front part, and I'll notch it so that when I'm joining it to the bodies, I know where it will face the front bodies and where it's going to face the back. This is the bodice. I'll open it up and match the sleeves with the armhole, making sure the notches are touching at the middle, and also making sure that the front part of the sleeve falls on the front part of the bodice. So I'll go ahead and join it on the sewing machine. So guys, here is what I have after joining the sleeves. I've also hemmed the sleeve with the 1 inch hemming allowance that I added earlier. So now the next thing I'll be doing now is to join the sides. So I'll join the side from the sleeve part with the 2 inches that I left as the sewing allowance. Here is what I have after joining the side. So you can see there is only the zipper allowance that is opened. To get the circumference of what we need here, I will measure from one end of the zipper allowance to the other end. So here I have 40 inches after measuring, and I will multiply that 40 inches by 2. Depending on how full you want that area to be, you can multiply yours by 2.5 or by 3 inches. But if you'd like the fullness that I have, I multiplied mine by 2 inches, so that gives me 80. So is that 80 that I will gather around this part to achieve the flare part. To get the length, remember the shoulder to the bust point is 9 inches and the total crop top length is 18 inches. So now on this table, let's assume from here to here is 18 inches of the crop length, and from the starting point to here is 9 inches. That is the bust point. So after removing the 9 inches, this is what I have. So I'll just measure from here to here. I have 9 inches, and I need ½ inch to join to the upper part and 1 inch to hem the lower part. So that means I have 1.5 sewing allowance to add to the 9 inches that I'm going to cut out. So that gives me 10.5 inches. That means I'll cut out a long rectangle of 80 inches width by 10.5 length. As you can see, this is 10.5 in length and the width is 80 inches. So I am going to pleat it round the bust point part like so. So after pleating it, this is what I have. You can also do gathers to these parts instead of pleating, but I pleated mine and this is what I have. So when I measure now, I have my 18 inches total crop top length. So as you can see, it's only the zipper allowance that is open. I'm just going to turn it to the wrong side and sew the 2 inches allowance to exactly the bust points joining and stop. Remember, the 2 inches is the zipper allowance that we put. At this point, if you want to put zip in yours, you can add zip, but I'm going to add button on my own. So now I'm going to go ahead to the sewing machine, and after joining, this is what we have. And this upper part is open, and I'll just fold it like so and pin before I go and sew it. Turning it to the right side, see what I have. So I'll just go ahead and sew it down. Guys, at this point, if you are yet to subscribe to the channel, kindly subscribe and like this video. Give it a thumbs up, share it and comment. Thank you. As for the button loop that I'll be adding to the back part, I cut out 3 inches by 2 inches in width. So the 3 inches is the length and the 2 inches is the width. So I'm just going to fold in ½ inch on both sides and fold it again and go ahead to join it on my sewing machine like so. So after joining it on the sewing machine, I'll just fold like this. Just note how I'm going to fold it. Can you see? So that is how I'm just going to fold it, and I will sew it down on one side of the neck like that. So you can just put any side. So I'll pin it down and check what I have. If it's okay, then I'll go ahead and sew. So this other part of it is where I'll be tacking my button. Afterwards, I'll open this and serge it, or I'll use a bias tape to hide the rough edges. And guys, this is what I have. Can you see how beautiful this is? Guys, the amazing thing about this crop top is I made it under 30 minutes and immediately I wore it out. Let me know if you'll be making this for yourself too in the comment section. And don't forget to support me by subscribing to the channel, liking my video, share it to your friends. So thanks for watching guys, and see you in my next video. Bye.